Child, the glitter's back out, so you can tell I'm going crazy. Yes, ma'am. Remember I told you guys that I would be giving you an announcement pretty soon. Well, the announcement is the fact that my new EP is coming out on my birthday, April 19th. Okay, this sound is very different. You can call it experimental if you want to. It's giving cyberpunk and rap and pop alternative. And I tried to make cool sounding electronic type of songs. And of course, none other than Ocean Kelly helped me bring this to life. He produced on it and mixed it. Also, Tony K9, he knows who he is. Devin did the cover. All of that information is on my Instagram and Twitter. I'm just happy that I finally get to share it with you all. It's a different sound, okay? But I wanted to give y'all some quarantine bops. Make sure to check the description and the first comment for the pre-save link so you can be notified immediately when it drops on my birthday. On patreon.com/AdrianExpression, they're already listening to one of the songs called Scrollin'. So if you want to hear that, you can sign up. I would love to know what you think before the full release. Also, my podcast comes out on patreon.com/AdrianExpression on Tuesday. The girls are already over there. Let me know what they want me to talk about. So it's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, that's why I'm just going crazy. But I love making stuff, so just help me get it on out there. I would really appreciate it. And let me know what you think, okay? But I'm gonna let you know what I think about Molly on Insecure. Now, I wanna talk about this more in depth on my podcast. Like I said, patreon.com/AdrianExpression. But sis, I really had to give y'all a little bit of my thoughts on Molly during this last episode of Insecure. Molly is a hating ass bitch. Molly is a hater. Molly is a hater, sis. And you know, the reason I say it with such clarity is because I know that so many of you can relate. You know you've had people like that in your life where it took you a while to realize it, but you see that their ass is a hater. Molly is a hater. And it's sad because you can tell a lot of it stems from her own insecurity. Molly is somebody who uses her job status, the fact that she got money, even if she doesn't do it to your face or like verbatim, like overtly, she uses that as kind of like a crutch, like a cushion, something like a force field to where she feels like she doesn't have to deal with the deep-seated insecurities, the bad habits that she has. Like, it's just, and then she keeps people around her like Issa to make her feel better about her own life, not realizing that, okay, yeah, Issa might be going through a lot of things. Issa might not be making six figures, but Issa's getting to know herself. Like, she's going through the motions, she's experiencing these things, and she's trying to learn from them. She's not perfect, but she didn't say that she was. I think that Issa, even though she's fucking up in her life and whatever, she's not too afraid to admit that. It's hard not to notice when she does, but at least she does it and she moves forward. Molly is just like, oh, well, girl, you know, I'm this lawyer, honey, and yeah, girl, Issa. Remember when Issa was talking to Molly about the sponsors for the mixer? And Molly was just like, oh, well, girl, you know, you got them trashy ass sponsors? Like, essentially, like, oh, she didn't expect Issa's sponsors to be like on point. So that's one of the reasons why I think that Molly, maybe she has people in her life that help her feel better about her own. And so she just thinks that, okay, since this person ain't got no money or they always messing up in this area, I'm good and fine. It's like, girl, no, Molly, you have there's a lot of insecurity just festering inside of you, and it doesn't matter how you ignore it or how you try to act like, oh no, I'm fine. Like, everyone can see it. Everyone can see it. Molly got a lot of work to do, and I think this could speak to all of us, where it's just like we've been taught to value certain things in life. We've been taught to value money and success and all this, and while that is important just because of the world we live in, it's not everything, you know, it's not everything. And just because you may have your shit together on the outside, girl, Molly, you gotta get some help. Wasn't she the same one offended when Issa brought up the fact that seeing a therapist would be good for her? Seeing a therapist would be good for everybody, okay? But Molly says, I really think you gotta go. Let me know what you guys think of this, because I think this is such a cool topic to talk about. It was just why I want to talk about it on the podcast. But I just feel like so many people can relate to it. There goes Insecure again, as usual, with the good ass writing and storytelling. We love to see that. I think we're gonna start to see not only celebrities, but us we're gonna start getting more and more crazy. We are. If people stop putting up lives and concerts and stuff, something to distract us while we all locked up in here, we're just gonna keep sliding off the deep end. Anyway, child, speaking of people who are acting a little bit woozy, the Liquor had Megan Thee Stallion woozy on this live stream, sis. Now, I don't know, she was talking about going rounds and rounds. She don't want no nigga who lasts for too short a time. Like, she was really talking. She's saying she can go for at least 4 rounds. So, you know, she was really talking that stuff, and she was really, really tipsy to the point where her friends heard what she was saying on her live, and they were like, Megan, Megan.
Stop talking.
That's facts.
That's enough.
Megan. Only reason why niggas is not fucking with me is because I broke up with them.
Megan.
I don't want to deal with you quick nut niggas.
Megan.
And I was waiting too because of the way that she was speaking. I was like, please don't say nothing stupid. Please don't say nothing stupid, sis, please. I mean, it's her account, her decision. She can do whatever she wants. But I mean, she wasn't saying anything crazy. The things that she was saying in her live are things that she would have said in her music, except it was a little bit more explicit. I thought it was funny. I especially love this moment when her friend said, Megan, enough, and she did like this.
I said enough. I said enough.
You also bent over on the counter.
I said, ooh, now, Megan, bring the straps, sis. Okay, I'm back. She even put together some rhymes for us. It was giving me some type of preaching type of teeth. I don't know.
Niggas calling my phone, need to leave me alone.
If you're trying to bone,
need to leave me alone because it's quarantine.
if she can't suck that meat, she don't get the skeet.
If it's quarantine,
Somebody just said that.
I'm not with the scheme. You need to leave me alone. Nigga, you cannot bone.
Drunk freestyle tease. So let's talk about this whole Lizzo and P. Diddy thing, right? So you know how these celebrities, they be having their lives and they make sure their friends can join and entertain us while we're over here bored as hell. So Diddy's doing this whole thing with his family, everybody dancing and shit. So they were dancing to Moneybags 1, 2, 3, and of course that features Black Youngster. And Lizzo was having fun. She was moving. Then she started twerking and stuff. And then a little bit later, Diddy cut off the live and like, no, we gotta play something else. Wanted to be more a little family friendly, appropriate. People saw that, and then you flipped it when Drea was doing the same thing. She was dancing and twerking to back that ass up, and then everything was fine. So people saw these two things and immediately began calling him out. So I want to hear what you guys think about this, because as I am looking at the videos more and more, I have multiple perspectives. And before I get into that, I just want to read what P. Diddy said. He said, there's one thing I want to make clear. My queen, my sister Lizzo, when I stopped the music, it was because it had a lot of curses in there, not because she was twerking. She's one of the best twerkers in the world, so let's keep that clear. You're allowed to twerk on Easter. There was a lot of cursing in the record. I don't need child services knocking on my door right now, so that's why I stopped the record. Lizzo, we love you, and everybody stop looking for the negative, look for the positive, blah, 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 blah. So I look back at the video, and Lizzo was twerking for a good little second before he said cut that shit off. And when he said cut it off was when Black Youngster said she will suck dick on the way to the dinner. From when I'm watching the video, that's when he immediately said, okay, we can't do this. But it's just strange because I think that's actually what happened, but it's just strange because Dre was dancing to back that ass up. The amount of curse words in that, it's crazy. I don't know if it's because he just, all he hears is, does he think the curse words are less easily able to be heard? Because everybody knows the lyrics to that shit. But outside of that, people, yet again, we're having another full-blown conversation about Lizzo's body, and I can only imagine how frustrating or annoying it might be to be just existing as a human being, and every time that you dance or move or do the same things that other people are doing, like Drea, it's just this big conversation, big deal. Oh, Lizzo does too much. She wasn't doing anything different than what other people were doing. Honestly, she was very conservative compared to what these other people be doing on their lives, and it's just no shade. I've seen some of these people's lives, okay? But yeah, like I said, it must be frustrating because every time Lizzo does things like just exist or dance, have fun, shake her ass, people take the conversation to astronomical levels of delusion, of disrespect, of hatred for no reason. And I'm the last one to be sitting here defending P, don't pay my artist Diddy. Like that's the last thing that I want to do. But even the vocabulary that he was using compared to the people who are dragging this conversation through the mud online, it's like, God damn. I mean, I saw how a lot of people talked about her when she was at the beach wearing a bathing suit like everybody else. I also see what these people online are doing, talking about like making these fake posts, talking about Lizzo's getting an OnlyFans and I bet not put that on my timeline. It's just like, who goes out of their way? You have to really think about how twisted as a person you are. Who goes out of their way to make some fake news about Lizzo making an OnlyFans account just to post it so that you can revel in and roll around in all the nasty ass comments that will no doubt come because of that post. A lot of y'all are the sick and twisted ones. That's what's really going on. And while you're over here pointing fingers at somebody and trying to make their lives uncomfortable and hell, like you really gotta look inward. I want you to place yourself in your bathroom and do like Michael Jackson. Look at the man in the goddamn mirror, sis. And since I know that a lot of y'all mirrors is dirty, I want you to clean it first. Clean it first and then do some self-examination, okay? So I thought that you guys would enjoy this as much as I did. So the New York Times did this whole spread on veteran actresses, veteran African-American actresses. And of course, they look beautiful as always. But the article was kind of talking about their struggles with dealing with so many hurdles in the industry. And they talked about how Halle Berry is the only African-American woman, like 20 years later, to win Best Actress. They talked about the hardships they faced, that time in the 90s when money for black projects dried up and people had to find different ways to make it work. So I don't know, I really like spreads like this. I like articles like this because oftentimes a lot of media, a lot of us get caught up in the glitz and glam and the assumed prestige and the star power and the successes of all these celebrities. But you know, I've said this in the past, a lot of times what gets promoted, period, by us or by other people are successes, are our wins. But what really pulls us together and makes us relatable to one another is just us talking about our failures and our struggles. So I'm always happy to see that. I'm not saying you have to worship these people, but I'm just saying sometimes just seeing what is actually possible and what people have gone through can help you on your own journey. So I love that. Something that I do not like though is the fact that these people are apparently officials on a council to reopen America. Now, the fact that Jared and Ivanka are even on here in the first place is absolutely mind-blowing. Now, I want us all to really sit down and think about who really wants America to go back to work in the middle of this pandemic. I mean, we don't even have the supplies, tools, we don't even have the testing, we don't have anything to help us get through this shit. Of course, all of this blood is lying on the government's hands, right? As usual. I mean, America's not new to that type of shit. But what I'm saying is, think about who wants everybody to go back to work. The same ultra rich, super powerful that so many people like to defend until literally their dying breath are the same ones telling everybody to go back to work. Now I'm just like, sis, if y'all so self-made and oh that's their money, don't touch it. If that's the case, why do you need everybody else? Oh, I forgot. It's like all the working people that you love to disrespect are the ones going out there making profit for y'all powerful asses, right? To me, it's absolutely nonsensical, but just so expected that these people in the government, that this administration is making whole councils on getting America back up to work. Okay, opening up the economy. And the very thing that's causing this economy to be closed down, they're not even doing what they can or should be doing to address that. So I'm like, how are you going to skip this whole part where Americans are sick or are afraid of getting sick or high risk of getting sick? You're gonna skip over all that part, skip over everything that they need, skip over all the doctors, health officials, hospitals asking for more supplies and stuff. You're gonna skip over all of that. You're gonna skip over the welfare of your people and skip to the economy as if the economy does not, as we can see, as if the economy does not depend on the goddamn welfare of the goddamn people. What are you doing? What are you doing? And that to me is the kicker. Is that some of these people are so divorced from everyday humanity. Okay, they have no desire to interact with those so-called lower classes. They don't want anything to do with their asses, but they want the money, not realizing that the employees and stuff being okay means that the economy is okay. The essential workers that y'all love to underpay and ignore being okay means that the economy and society as a whole is okay. So it's just like, how can these people who want so much money not realize that investing in the people of your country will get you the money that you want, providing people with money to spend and invest. If eventually that money's gonna come right back into the economy. I don't get why that's so difficult to understand, but I just wish that they were focused on the health of Americans as they were focused on the health of the economy. And I just don't get why they can't see that corpses or people in the ICU can't make you no money, girl. It doesn't matter how you throw tantrums and complain. People are getting sick and people's family members dying and a virus is not being contained. It won't be no economy. It doesn't matter how many councils y'all try to open up. It's so tired at this point. I'm exhausted. But yeah, girl, that's all I feel like talking about today. If you want to hear more, like I always say, make sure you go to patreon.com/AdrianExpression to hear my podcast. I love it over there. More interaction with y'all. And of course, I don't have to deal with YouTube's ass talking about, is that a controversial societal issue that I hear you talking about? Flagged it. But yeah, during times like this, I really wish that I was dating a barber or something, that we were quarantining together, because I don't know, girl, we gonna see how high this afro gonna get, girl. And on that note, I love y'all so much, and make sure that you have a good goddamn evening.